Hello, you guys. It's your girl Bree. I come with a quick little message on you today. You guys, remember who you are. You're the head and not the tail. You shall lend and you shall not borrow. It is time for you to move in another direction. God does not need a man to verify things in your life. I don't want you guys to be bitter about anything, but be better than what you was. You got to be able to live through the battle of what's going on in your own mind and life right now. Show God that his words are stronger than your criticism, than their criticism. When other people criticize you, the word that God has put inside of you, the word that God has given you, show him that it is mightier than what anybody say or how anybody feels about you. You got to be able to live with, you can't live down. See, yes, you made that mistake in that relationship. Yes, you gave more to that man than you gave to yourself. Hell, yes, you used to beat people up back in the day. Yes, you used to steal. Yes, you used to prostitute. Yes, you used to do whatever the hell you did in your past. That is your past. You got to be able to live down that shit, okay? You got to be able to live with, you can't live down. Your past is your past. You did all that. Move on from that. God will use you. He will orchestrate all for you. Trust God. Your strength is perfect in your weakness. God's strength is perfect in your weakness. You are stronger than what you think. When you feel like you weak, you feel like you can't go no more, get up. Get up. Stand up. You are strong. When you feel like you are weakened, you are very strong. When God said you don't need nobody, you don't need no money, you don't need none of that, he gonna take care of you. Trust me, he's gonna take care of you. He's gonna provide for you. He is a man, his word cannot lie. You do not need nobody. Stop putting your trust in man. Stop feeling like you need a man or a woman or somebody to help you. You don't need nobody but God. That's all you need. That's the only person you need, because he will never leave you nor forsake you. He's going to be right there with you every step of the way. You heard me? He said, when my mother and my father forsake me, God was there. He's going to be there no matter what. Wherever you go, he's going to be there. You don't need anybody but him. Put your trust in him. Because if you put your trust in man, man will fail you. One of my favorite sayings is that if I wait for a man to feed me, I will starve. You hear me? But when you wait on your heavenly Father to feed you, he open up the windows of heaven and pours you out blessings that you don't have no room to receive. Come on now. You got to know that you know that you know that you know that God is for you. And if God is for you, can't no damn body be against you. Not no devil, not no serpent, not nothing can be against you, because what God got for you is for you. You heard me? It could be delayed, but it can't never be denied. God got you. God got you. No matter what it looks like, God got you, because you the head and you're not the tail. But until you know what you are, I could preach it to you till I'm blue in the face, but until you receive what you are, it's nothing I can do. Just know that. God said you shall lend. You know what it's like to lend? You know what it's like somebody that call your line and ask you for something? God said you will lend and not borrow. I didn't say that. God said that. You will lend to many nations. You will lend to many people. Listen, I'm not just talking about money. Sometimes you lend your encouraging words. Sometimes you lend you when you mentoring the people, you lending to people. Sometimes you lend in different ways to people. Emotions, you lend your emotions to people. In different ways you do these things. It's not always about money. People always think things about money. Just like people always think when somebody say they wealthy and they this and that. Yeah, they might have a little change. They might have did something strange for a little piece of change. I don't know. But what I do know is I'm wealthy in spirit. You hear me? I'm wealthy in knowledge. I'm wealthy in power. I'm wealthy in wisdom. That's what I'm wealthy in. The money comes too, but I'm just saying that's what I'm wealthy in. And you have to tell yourself that you got to spend a little bit of time with yourself. You got to take a break out of everything you got going on. Sometimes it's good to isolate yourself and be by yourself and sit down and revalue what you got going on in your life and what's going on and how could you fix what's going on inside of your life. Because sometimes we allow things, my right ear ringing, we allow things to deter us from what we should be focused on. Don't allow nothing to deter you from what you be focused on. If you said this day that you was going to stay in bed and you was going to study, was study to show your self-approval. If you said that you was going to clean up your whole house from floor to bottom, don't get distracted. Do what you said you're going to do. Do what you say. It's better to make a vow than not make a vow. And a lot of people, they make vows and they don't keep the vow. Like, don't say you're gonna do something and don't do it. Your word is your bond. Your word is all you have. So if you can't stand on your word, then you can't stand on nothing. Then you know what I mean. If your word ain't solid, there ain't nothing. Then. But like I said, you got to learn to be honest. You got to learn to be honest and truthful with yourself. You got to learn to sit down with yourself, become one with self. Then you can become one with God once you become one with self. You have to learn these things. You have to learn to become one with yourself. You have to learn to um you got to learn to stay focused at all given times, not get yourself distracted by anything that's going on. You got to learn to stay focused and do the task that's at hand, because sometimes we allow ourselves to get wrapped up, tangled up, tied up in things that we have no reason being tied up in. You have to stay focused. You got to know what you have to do, and you have to seek. You got to be willing to seek. Seek him. Seek him. Seek what he got for your life. Some of y'all running around here going to school for stuff that's not. Y'all didn't even ask God if that's what he wanted you to go to school for. Some of y'all inside relationships, y'all didn't even ask God if that was the person for y'all. Y'all just seen because it looked good. You heard me? It look good. Y'all ain't know the best people that's together is the people, the kingdom people that God put together for his glory, not for somebody else to look, not to make somebody else feel jealous or something. Y'all got to get it together. You started that business. Did God tell you to start that business, or you starting that business because it's easy money? Because all money not good money. So you got to make sure that you know, okay, that you're doing, that you consulted your heavenly Father on what you should be doing in your life, because he's going to lead and guide you. He's going to let you know where you need to go and how you need to go. Stay focused. Stay rooted and grounded in his word. Stay rooted and grounded in his truth. You heard? Speak your truth at all times. Listen, God's truth and your truth should always align. You heard me? It always align. God's truth might not be your truth right now, but in the future, it will be. So it should always align with each other, okay? Because our timing is not God's timing, and God's timing is not our timing. So guess what? Sometimes that's how it has to be. But you just have to make sure that y'all on one accord. You have to make sure that everything you're saying, everything you're doing is being aligned up in what God has called you to do, what God has needs you to do for your life and for yourself. You have to be willing to sacrifice some things to get to know you, so you can know how you move. You see, because when you don't know yourself, you're moving out here reckless. But when you know yourself, you know how to move. You know what trigger you. You know what don't trigger you. You know what to respond to and not to respond to. But you have to get there with yourself. Be one with self. And just know that you're the head and not the tail. Once you realize who you are, things will flow much better. Remember, what God has for you is for you. It can be delayed, but it shall not be denied. It's your girl, Bree, signing off. Peace.